Hey, everyone. So, today I'm back with an interesting topic. This is something that took more time for me to research, understand, and then solve it because it was uh, like one hell of a nut to crack on. The reason being, like a lot of effort into the research has been done, whether this can be achieved or not, using Anthropic plus Salesforce, because Anthropic's latest release was about a tool that I'll mention later, which really makes everything easier to have the automation done. Everyone is talking a lot about whether Salesforce can have an AI outreach kind of thing, like Salesforce sending in the details for the system, and then have the data is enriched or documentation being read or answering the documents from the external systems onto the Salesforce back again and all this kind of stuff. And this is something which is possible out of the box from the agent. This is something more of like an extended solution on top of that. So there is no like right or wrong, this is best, that is best, but rather I'm sharing a perception about how AI is shifting the process of developing things and how easy MCPs are making easier for the developers to construct these solutions for the business. So, uh, like right now, as you're sitting in front of this video, as you're watching, as I'm recording, uh, our Salesforce leads, which are in the system, are being enriched by the AI automatically, maybe with one click or on a batch, or maybe with, maybe with a trigger or whatever the automation that was set, AI is already enriched in the way. And this is happening right in 2026 latest because there were other tools released by Crew AI, OpenAI Agent Builder, there were other tools. But the one that I'm going to talk about is much more efficient that I found from trying all those things. And at the same time, this is very easy to configure, use, and also at the same time, hard to understand, not implement, hard to understand because like there are a lot of things that need to be decomposed and then construct a bridge out of it to connect both the systems and the application. So what's happening right now is most of the times we get the leads from email or data loader, like we just have data loader uploaded in bulkly, and then let's sit on their desk and then go to multiple tabs, search over LinkedIn or search over the what do you say Tably or Apollo, or they do it manually basically. Or if they don't want to do it manually, then we need to write heavy extensive APIs which are specific for the systems or therefore to the other parties, right? There's a lot of going on and there could be mistakes that can be happening, right? Like nobody will have time. There would be more leads, more work that needs to be done, more effort going in, and sometimes we make mistakes. And I'm not saying the AI doesn't make mistakes, but if you prompt it rightly, that it can do the job. Now, what happens? Now, lead comes into the system, just 30 seconds later, we'll have this enriched completely with the click of a button or on a batch or from a flow or whatever that is, right? Once a lead comes in, we can have it enriched with whatever the automation that is set. So maybe more of like what is the company size of this particular lead and what is the bio, what is the information that we can know about it before reaching out to them by a call or message or an email. We would need this information to better understand the customer, right? So that's what lead is. So we can do all this in under less than 30 seconds. The point that I'm talking about is AI isn't a chatbot anymore because AI, which was initially chatbot, has become an agent and now it is becoming more than an agent. That is managed agents. So Claude has released the feature called Claude Managed Agent, where we can build agents with extended tools for MCPs or any internal tool that Google to have, which can read files, web search, or anything, and then have the job done for the business, be it any system. It can connect because they are MCPs, right? MCPs are USB-C for any system, particularly AI system. So managed agents can help us write tools, can help us bridge with middleware like Node.js or Python server or MCPs directly. So that's the shift that is going in from chatbot to agent to managed agent. And I don't know, like maybe it can be autonomous agent in the future, right? So now from a risk perspective, what happens is new leads land into the Salesforce. They'll just click a button. There will be a confirmation screen asking whether they want to enrich for sure. And AI takes over completely. So the managed agents that I was talking about will take the whole job entirely while they click the button and sends it back to the Salesforce with updating the detail and then refresh the pages and then be done with it. So that's the process. Simple sound, right? But I'll deep dive into the implementation that was gone into so that we can understand what the structure actually is and then how we can have the bridge connected between Salesforce and Android managed agents. It takes only two API calls. That's all it takes to start the AI. That's it. To just start the AI sitting inside Claude and the server, it just takes two API calls. One is to start the agent session. Since it is a managed agent, which we have defined the instructions, which we have defined the tools that it has access to, and the MCPs it has access to, we have to wake it up. And once we wake it up, we will need to send the details to the session. So agent was spoken and agent started a session. For the session to access the tools, enrich and all the data, you will need to send the lead data. So we send the lead data so that it understand, okay, I'll have lead first name, last name, and company if it is present, email, I have his phone number or from where he is, like company details or whatever that is, email and everything. Using that, we'll do web search and if there are any entity servers like Apollo or whatever we would like to do for enriching more, right? We can connect with a simple step like configuring the server and then be done with it. And then we can use Salesforce hosted MCP server, which I did understand that I can use it yesterday night from the point of time I'm recording because it made the whole job easier because I don't have to write the book class again or write Python or Node.js and a middleware and then post it somewhere else for cloud managed agent to send it back to the server and then server sending it to Salesforce again. There's a lot, right? But Salesforce hosted MCP servers, which have been released last month, had made the whole life cycle easier because I'll just hit with the button, cloud managed agent will wake up, start the session. The session will have my lead details. It does the research and MCP server where I configure with URL, client ID, client secret, writes back to Salesforce for updating the lead details. That's it. Now, what happens? So this is something which I'll be showing as a demo, but I'll just tell you. So you are in conversation with a customer or you're in conversation with the internal team where you would like to explain your stakeholders or to your business team members or to your clients that, okay, so this is how the customer has come in and these are all the details. And this is something that we can do immediately. So one button click will invoke the cloud managed agent. Cloud managed agent will take care of entities and it does help enriching the lead. And then Salesforce social MCP server right back to Salesforce. Now, enough of this. I'll just show you how it works. Now, in leads, right? So let's take a particular any lead. Let's take this one. You see here, I have some details like he's the CFO, his company is this, and his email is this. It's like not real details, it's arbitrary details, but it would present. If it is present, then the details would be coming back into Salesforce. Now all I do is I just click on this enrich lead. This is a quick action that I have built, which is a skill flow that will invoke an Apex class that we have written. I'll show you in a second. And I'll just click next. As I mentioned, enrichment has started and then finish. That's it. Now what happens? This is where we live in. And I was talking about agents, right? Cloud managed agents. You can see cloud managed agent. And this is my managed agent where you can see all the instructions. I'll come back to the instructions in a minute and you will see the session running now. So the session has started 18 seconds ago. So user, this is my prompt that I have given. I'll tell you how I have given the prompt to this managed agent to start the session. But before that, I'd like to make you understand the agent session environments, potential walls and everything. So here if you see, you're a lead enrichment specialist. You will receive Salesforce lead data, either a single lead ID or list of lead IDs or a batch query. Your job is to research and enrich each one, then write enrich back to Salesforce and the Salesforce entity server query. Workflow. This is how you have to start, this is how you have to go. This is the output that it has to write back to the Salesforce. And these are the rules that I have provided. That's it. Nothing much. And when you click on edit, you'll be seeing the YAML or JSON file, which has actual system prompts, MCP servers configured. You can see Tagly, Salesforce, and agent tool sets, and then MCP tool sets for Tagly, and then again for Salesforce. I did not keep any skills. You can have skills as well to ensure that it will write the description or writing back to the Salesforce with the specific style or rules or anything. And it is configured in YAML or JSON. I prefer JSON. So I have written all the instructions. And if you want to make the job more easier, you have the guided edit option where Claude can actually help you build a managed agents in writing the instructions for the agent and also the YAML or JSON configuration that you would like to have, right? So let's finish this session. It's still running. So sessions are the ones which are removed by the Salesforce by sending in the details. Environments are the places where we configure the templates. So templates are nothing but, if you see it here, whether I would like to have type like networking, whether it should be restricted or unrestricted. If it is restricted, then what other sources it can access via web search and packages. So if I have any packages, if I have any key value pairs that must be ensured to organize in this environment for accessing API keys or something like that, we can have the environment set over here. But for my use case, it is not needed. And credential walls is the main area where we will actually put all the credentials. You can see here I have Salesforce custom MCP server and then Tavily with their token. So you can get Tavily. You just go or like you can go to the Tavily and you can create an account and then you'll get some free web searches that it can do, which will be given as API key that you can configure here. As I was mentioning earlier, you can see you can put the name and here are all the MCPs which are present over here. With this, you have Apollo, you have RAM, you have like Windsor, you have Postdoc for analytics, you have Calendly to book the calendars, like right? Like you can just give a UI to the customer where they'll just type in the request that these are the slots. Calendly can communicate via the MCP to the client that okay, these are all available slots. This is when would you like to have, and then it will be creating and then confirming back to me saying that okay, so and so customer has booked a calendar invite with you at this particular time. Superhuman email, Netlify, like these are all MCPs which are present out of the box. But if you want to do it, as I have done for Salesforce Software, you just give the details, right? You just give the detail and then URL. So URL is something that you can get from here. So this is the customer server. So we need to see. Here you can see the authentication server URL details. And for MCP, you need to have client ID, client secret, which you can create via the external client application. If you have missed it or didn't watch, I have records done earlier, due to videos done earlier. They'll be appearing at the last, so you can watch it and understand the Salesforce structure MCP server will be under standard and then custom. So this is about the structure of having the agents and the sessions being invoked by the external tools, environments and credentials. So now I'll go to the session and it's idle now. Okay. That means there has been some research done. So what is this? So please enrich this Salesforce field. I have sent some details which are present in my org for that particular lead. Now agent has understood that it has to start a session. It has started and then understood that it has to start researching. You can think about inference about .NET's company overview. It is basically doing a web search or Google or Yahoo or whatever it is, like LinkedIn, or it can go through anything. It can go through anything, right? You can see URL, our company about our information, logo, color. It is basically getting all the details which are present over the internet, right? And then good start. The email domain is this one, severe village, TN, Tennessee about insurance. Let me dig deeper, fetching their website and searching for more company details. And now you see again, it is doing the query saying that about insurance company overview, employee description. Then it has got some details. Likewise, it is doing multiple researches and Tavily crawl. Tavily crawl is all about in the web page which it has found. It crawls for the details and then gets the right one. So it confirmed the company, it did call the lead and understood that what are all present and got the details. Update one. So you see there are custom validation. It did understand that there is an error. The country field requires full name and you see country code US and then all the details that it has set. And then you can see it is cotton CFO and this is a lead ID. Now if I go here, you see description, nothing is present. And once I refresh, You can see the description has been updated. You see, uh, email, number of employees, all the details that it has enriched and found with the address details as well. So that is managed agent for you. But how did we configure from the Salesforce? Right, that is the main question. So here, if you see, I have a great future like enrich batch. This is the main class that I have written to ensure that yes, this is what you have to configure with the details that you need to ensure you hit the right endpoint. You see, I have name credential, call out Android agent C1 and agent ID, environment ID, agent vault ID, which I have configured over here, agent ID, vault ID, and everything that I have stored here. Of course, you can use a custom label. And we have all the HTTP request body. And if you see here, you can see I'm forming this particular, please enter this lead. And these are the details. You see, for the first message that I have received, these are the details that I have sent to ensure that the Claude managed agent understands that in this session, these are the details it has to like bound to and then do the research. And there is a build request where I'm actually making the request, and then some process is happening where I'll just get the details and then have the session ID returned. That's it. For listening to the events, Salesforce MCP server takes care of it. So, like, you did understand now, right? Like, this wasn't case about the needs. It's about case contracts or OCR techniques that you would like to use for signing or document reading or anything. You can have Cloud managed agent created with MCP servers and tools that it can actually read and then get back to the details to the sales again. Try it out, right? Try it out. Trust me, it is really good. You can, I'll give the document links and then I'll also share additional resources that you can try it out. And there are more coming. Agent memory that can persist through because I've tried agent memory, but I couldn't like succeed in this particular use case. Agent memory, webhooks, multi-agent systems, dreaming concepts coming into the managed agent, which means every time a lead comes in with the same company detail, right? But different person details, then it doesn't have to do the research again for the company. Currently, it does that because it's stateless. But with the agent memory and dreaming concept, we can ensure that the cloud managed session, which are running across over the days or like daily 10 times or 20 times or whatever, it can have a managed memory saying that, okay, these are the details, these are the quick highlights. I need not do the research if they are already existing in my memory store. So that's how this has been designed and more updates are coming in the future. So try it out. Let me know what are your thoughts on it. And like you can use it for your use cases, wire it up to the Salesforce and ensure that it does the job for the business. Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.